The Stanley Hotel is an infamous hotel and a cult classic masterpiece located in Estes Park, Colorado. Built in 1909, the hotel was designed to cater to the wealthy, but soon became famous for something more sinister. From apparitions to the sound of children laughing and playing in the empty halls, and even disembodied voices, these are just some of the things that many Stanley Hotel visitors experience. The hotel's haunted reputation has inspired some of the most famous novels and films we have today. Let's find out the origin of the Stanley Hotel, the reported sightings, and how it got its haunting reputation. The story of the Stanley Hotel begins with the inventor Freeland Oscar Stanley, a popular entrepreneur and inventor. Stanley and his brother both got struck with tuberculosis, and unfortunately, his brother didn't survive the disease. In the hope of recovering faster and having a better environment, Stanley and his wife Flora decided to move to the hilly mountains of Colorado. Some people also believe that Stanley moved to Colorado because he knew he had fewer survival chances and wanted to die in a beautiful place. Surprisingly, Stanley's health began to recover rapidly, and the couple decided to build their own hotel to cater to people. Stanley bought the land for the hotel, which was 600 acres of property, from an Irish owner, Lord Dunraven, located in Estes Park, Colorado. In 1909, the Stanley Hotel was established, and the hotel had a marvelous experience for its customers. Though surrounded by mountains, the hotel had everything to offer, from beautiful architecture to telephone service and even electricity, despite being in a rural area. The hotel had 138 rooms with ensuite bathrooms and a hydraulic elevator, and these things were considered a luxury in those days. The hotel was the epitome of grace in the 20s and 30s and became a popular destination among the rich and famous. Soon the hotel started to lose its fame, and the reason was due to negligence and improper care of the property. The hotel was starting to fall apart due to a lack of investments as well, and this was becoming a huge problem. This was the point where the Stanley Hotel could have easily been destroyed, but things took a wild turn with an infamous novel and a story of a haunting. Room 217 is quite infamous among the public, and for the right reasons. The room didn't always have this haunting reputation, but it all changed with an accident that caused a fatality. In 1911, a housekeeper named Elizabeth Wilson died in room 217 as a result of an explosion that occurred when she tried to light a lantern. It is believed that the ghost of the housekeeper still haunts the room, and her presence can be felt by the guests. The staff of the hotel also believe that the ghost of Wilson is present in the room, as oftentimes the room is found tidy and the clothes are well folded, as if someone or something did the work before the staff. Not only this, but multiple guests have reported seeing the apparition of Wilson standing in the corner, staring at them. The famous and most loved comedian Jim Carrey also experienced something paranormal. In 1997, Carrey was shooting for the movie Dumb and Dumber at the time and had to stay at a hotel. He chose to stay in room 217 to see what the hype about the room was and experience the room by himself. Carrey later told an interviewer that he couldn't even blink his eyes at night because he was so scared, and he claimed that he did see the apparition of Wilson standing in the corner of his room. Carrey was so scared that he stumbled upon the stairs in his boxers to get to the counter and requested to change the hotel instead of the room. It's also reported that once an Australian family decided to stay at the Stanley Hotel and experienced some bizarre things happening to them. The family reported seeing ghostly apparitions wandering the hallways, their stuff going missing one by one as if something was teasing them, and they also complained of hearing strange and unsettling noises that would keep them up at night. The guests that decided to stay at the Stanley Hotel reported hearing children laughing and playing in the empty hallways. They felt as if something was watching them, which gave them chills throughout the night. If you're enjoying the content so far, then consider liking the video and subscribing. The Stanley Hotel also features a giant ballroom that is supposedly haunted, as the guests that stay at the hotel say that they hear a piano playing. And it's also common to see well-dressed apparitions of men and women laughing in the empty ballroom. The room itself gives off eerie vibes to the visitors, especially at night when there is not a single person in the ballroom. In 1940, Stanley also died, and it is believed that since he loved his hotel too much, he is also one of the many ghosts that haunt the place. It's believed that the hotel is haunted by several ghosts that used to serve here, and allegedly, the concert hall of the hotel is believed to have the ghost of a helper named Paul who died due to a gas leak in the hall. Many guests have reported seeing a dark shadow and sometimes even an apparition of Paul, and some even hear footsteps as if he is taking a tour of the place. The most common experience that the guest has is an eerie feeling of something watching them, especially at night. One of the most celebrated authors and storytellers, Stephen King himself, had a strange experience at the Stanley Hotel. In the 1970s, King and his wife Tabitha checked into the Stanley Hotel during their visit to Estes Park for the weekend. The day King and his wife checked in was the last day of the season for the hotel, which meant that they were the only guests who were going to stay in the hotel, and this is where things got strange. King described that he would hear the wind whistling outside the windows, which made the already creepy hotel eerier. The couple went to their room, which was coincidentally the infamous room number 217. King has a terrifying lucid nightmare in which a coiled fire hose comes to life and chases King's son in the hallways of the hotel. King woke up terrified and decided to light a cigarette, and by the time the cigarette was finished, his mind had the entire idea for the famous movie, The Shining. Stephen King's book, The Shining, became a hit in the market, which caused the slowly declining hotel to once again gain fame for its hauntings. Stephen King's iconic novel captured the eeriness of the hotel successfully. His story included a family of three, a man, a woman, and a child, staying up alone in the hotel in the off-season, and how the solitude and multiple ghosts in the hotel start to mess up the man's brain so much that he loses sanity. The novel was also adapted into a movie, also called The Shining, directed by Stanley Kubrick. The movie contained intense moments, indicating how the solitude drove the man completely insane and made him extremely violent towards his family. The movie had a great impact on the image of the Stanley Hotel, which led to more films and TV exposure of the hotel and its hauntings, such as Ghost Hunters and Dr. Sleep. Since the hotel became a symbol of horror elements, many TV programs started to do their own investigations with the aim of communicating with the entities residing in the hotel, which gave us the well-known Estes Method. This method originated in Estes Park's Stanley Hotel, where multiple paranormal investigators found a significant spot to communicate with the dead. This method involves investigators wearing noise-canceling headphones and blindfolding themselves as they listen to the frequencies of the spirit box. A spirit box is a tool used to communicate with the dead, and it works by scanning radio frequencies, which are later analyzed. The investigator asks several questions about the entity that is available in the place, and then records the radio frequencies generated, which are later analyzed to see if the entity actually replied to the questions asked. This is a popular method used by paranormal investigators to communicate with supernatural beings. The Stanley Hotel's haunted history made the hotel a thriving destination among tourists, as it is a hotel where the line between living and dead seem to blur. The Stanley Hotel is infamous not for its beautiful architecture or value, but for its hauntings. From having multiple ghosts roaming around the hallways of the hotel, to seeing apparitions of ghosts in rooms and concert halls, the hotel has a history of terrifying events. The Stanley Hotel has spooked many famous people and inspired many popular films and novels. That's it for today. What do you think about the tales of the Stanley Hotel? Do you think that there are multiple ghosts that haunt the place? Or was this place exploited to gain exposure? Let us know in the comments section below. Like if you found this video interesting, and we will see you soon with more strange and unusual horror stories. Till then, take care.